The race for the next Lewisham MP is heating up, and the Labour Party seems to be discouraging men from standing as a candidate. So it's technically Momentum that's imposing this rule. You can stand for the Labour candidacy, run to be a candidate for Labour if you want to, if you're a man, but it doesn't mean you're going to get invited to the hustings, because the hustings are being run by Momentum. And Momentum, if you don't already know, is a hard left Corbynista group within the Labour Party. And it's the group that's basically taken control of the party ever since Corbyn won. And so what we're looking at here is an all-black and ethnic minority and all-woman shortlist. And I was thinking about the legality of this. So I was looking it up. And, how can you actually allow an all-woman shortlist? And there was an article on Labour List, a Labour supporting website. And it says here, but aren't all BME shortlists illegal, I hear you ask? All women shortlists were made possible thanks to the Sex Discrimination Election Candidates Act 2002, and the Equality Act 2010 permitted their use until 2030. So the Equality Act 2010, which I've got lots of problems with and I've talked about before, allows parties to just actively discriminate against non-white straight men. It says also in the article, it says, no such legislation has been introduced to entitle any party to use all BME shortlists, nor has the Labour rulebook been changed to authorise them. What we're talking about when we discuss an all BAME women's shortlist being used for Lewisham East is therefore an unofficial act, de facto, not de jure. It's possible that the likelihood of an all BME shortlist in Lewisham East is both the most and least controversial part of this by-election. So they're alluding to the fact that I just told you about, that this is a Momentum thing, not a Labour thing. There was one man that I've seen that has put his hat in the ring, and his name is Joe Dromey. Now, when I saw the name Dromey, it made me remember, it made me think, I know that name. And it turns out Joe Dromey is Jack Dromey's son. Jack Dromey is the Member of Parliament who once called me obscene, which is ironic for a man who once worked with the Paedophile Information Exchange. But Jack Dromey and Harriet Harman, Joe Dromey is their son, and he's trying to run for the Labour candidacy for Lewisham. And it's really funny because Harriet Harman's the arch-feminist in Westminster, and she's the one who came up with the Equality Act 2010. She's the one who drafted that legislation and pushed it through Parliament, and now it's hurting her own son. Brilliant. So Joe Dromey has put his name forward. And there's a thread here on Twitter which shows that he was denied a chance to speak at the hustings. So let's take a look at this. So this is Bob from Broccoli, who's a blogger, and Lewisham Momentum. And Lewisham Momentum says here, hi, Bob from Broccoli. We welcome candidates to get in touch if they would like to speak at tonight's event. Given the vast numbers applying to be LEMP, we wouldn't be able to know of or invite all candidates. So then Joe Dromey comes forward. Hi, I've applied for the selection. I'd like to join the hustings. Please let me know if you need any more information. Thanks, Joe. Very polite. Lewisham Momentum. Hi, Joe. We really appreciate the offer, but with Heidi resigning, we believe there should be an all-women shortlist to find the next candidate. However, it's great to see you supporting Momentum's role in the selection process. And so Joe Dromey came back. Okay, it's an open selection, though, so it's a shame members can't hear from all candidates. True. Could you let members know why I'm not there? Wouldn't want them to think I just chose not to come. Hope it goes well and look forward to engaging with members next week. How much of a cuck do you have to be to look at what Momentum just said? Say, nah, you can't come, you've got a penis. You can't come to this shortlist, this hustings event. You're a man. And for him to just say, oh, well, I hope it goes well. Please let them know that I'm not there because, not out of choice, but because I'm a man and I'm not allowed. What a cuck! It's so funny. The Labour Party is eating itself, and Joe Dromey has been cucked by his own mum. She's the one who drafted the legislation that lets people do it. Brilliant. Amongst all this as well, there's the news that the front runner for Lewisham has dropped out. She is the one who I talked about the other day, who I couldn't pronounce her name. It's Phil something. She's the black woman who ran Black Pride UK. Phil Apoku Gimia. She's backed out. She says it was for personal reasons, but it did also come out not long after she compared the Palestine issue to Nazi Germany. So I suspect she's been pushed out here. She's saying it's personal. I'm not sure about that. You know, even if something terrible had happened in your family, this is a race to become a member of parliament. It's a job you've got for the next 4 years because it's a by-election. Take the job. take the damn job and then sort out the family issue later. So, I mean, there's something going on here. But amid all this mental stuff with Labour, there is news of 2 other candidates, and that's from UKIP and from For Britain. Now, UKIP announced this morning that David Curtin is going to be the candidate for Lewisham East. He's not a candidate they've had before because, funnily enough, the old UKIP candidate for Lewisham East was Anne-Marie Waters. She stood for them in 2015. She was meant to stand for them in 2017, but Paul Nuttall didn't like her and so deselected her because she talked too much about Islam. And then UKIP is now standing David Curtin, and I'm not sure how well that's going to go down. If he's not really known locally, it might be hard for them. Also, I mean, David Curtin's got a bit of a history here because he once got in trouble for saying that gay people are likely to have been abused by kids. So, abused as kids, sorry. So I'm not sure how well he's going to do here. Anne-Marie Waters, it'll be interesting. I mean, this really is a race between UKIP and For Britain now. Anne-Marie's, if For Britain's going to succeed, it's got to prove that it can beat UKIP. And I think UKIP probably knows that. So it's going to be a bit of a battleground in Lewisham East. But what will be interesting is to see what happens with the 30% that didn't vote in Lewisham last time. 30% of people don't vote. If a party, any party is able to grab those 30%, they can change, they can win the seat. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the non-voters, what the turnout's like. By-elections are notoriously bad turnouts, so it could hurt everybody. But Labour's already got a massive majority. Labour's almost certainly going to win. So whatever black and ethnic minority woman Labour chooses, they're going to be the next Member of Parliament for Lewisham East, more than likely. And some of the candidates we've seen so far, as I talked about the other day, are not exactly like outstanding members of society. Some of them have got pretty extreme links. So, I mean, what do you expect from a constituency whose council is completely Labour? I looked on the council website for Lewisham the other day. Every single councillor out of the lot of them is Labour. That is a town that's doomed. A town that's got, crime rates skyrocketing. The reports of violent crime to the police in Lewisham increased by more than 60% between 2012 and 2017. If that's not a sign Labour isn't working, I don't know what is. So yeah. All women shortlist, Labour madness, battleground between UKIP and For Britain. This could be one of the most interesting by-elections in a while. Catch up with all the Rebel stories on our brand new app, which you can download now from the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store.